The Galactic Concorde was the pride of the interstellar Allied fleet, a vessel so vast it blotted out stars when it passed through a system. 17 alien species served aboard it. Humans were the newest addition, admitted only 18 months ago after Earth finally passed the Galactic Cooperation trials. Most aliens still weren't sure what to make of them. Cadet Molly Chen stood at attention in Hangar Bay 7, her posture perfect, her dark eyes forward, her jaw set. She was 22 years old, 5'4", and had graduated top of her class at the Earth Defense Academy. She was also, at this precise moment, struggling not to bleed visibly on the floor. The gash on her forearm, courtesy of a faulty plasma coupling she had been repairing without proper shielding because someone had removed the safety checklist from the system, was soaking quietly through her sleeve. She hadn't reported it. There was a fleet inspection in 11 minutes, and Cadet Molly Chun did not leave her post. Commander Danveth of the Kreth arrived early. The Kreth were imposing by any species standard. 7 feet of chitinous exoskeleton for upper limbs, eyes that reflected light like cut obsidian. Danveth was their most decorated commander, a veteran of the Siege of Oran IV, a 3-time recipient of the Concorde Star of Merit. He was also, by widespread consensus among every junior officer who had ever served under him, an absolute tyrant. He walked the line of cadets slowly, his footsteps clicking against the hangar floor like a metronome, counting down to something unpleasant. His inspection was legendary, not for its thoroughness, but for its cruelty. He did not correct cadets. He broke them. A wrong answer, a crooked seam, a flicker of nerves in the eyes. All of it invited his particular brand of humiliation. He stopped in front of Molly. She had been briefed on him. Every human cadet had been. Do not make eye contact too long. Do not speak unless spoken to. Do not show weakness. She had not been briefed on what happened when he noticed the blood. Human, Danveth said. His translator rendered it flatly. You are bleeding. Minor injury during pre-inspection maintenance, sir. It has been managed. It has not been managed. He leaned down, bringing his face close to hers. His mandibles flexed. You have contaminated a fleet hangar with biological material. You have violated 3 hygiene protocols. And you stand there as if this is acceptable. Sir, you are a liability. His voice dropped to something that was almost quiet. Quiet was worse. You primitive species believe that endurance is strength. It is not. It is stupidity with a different name. Molly said nothing. Her eyes stayed forward. Danveth straightened. Then, with a precise and deliberate motion, he brought his secondary limb across in a sharp backhand strike. The Kreth equivalent of a disciplinary blow, used historically on lower caste soldiers. It connected with the side of her face. The sound was sharp in the silence of the hangar. For 1 second, nobody moved. For 2 seconds, the assembled cadets, 17 species represented, nearly 60 individuals, stood frozen. For 3 seconds, the entire hangar was absolutely, completely, breathlessly quiet. Then Molly turned her head back to face forward. Her cheek had gone red. Her eyes were glassy, not from tears, from something that looked much more like calculation. Her hands, clasped behind her back, had tightened into fists that she slowly, deliberately, released. She spoke. Commander Danveth. Her voice was level. Not loud. Not angry. Just level. The way a glacier is level. Under Article 7, Section 4 of the Galactic Concorde Military Code, physical contact of a disciplinary nature between officers of non-equivalent rank is prohibited without species-specific consent on file. I have not filed that consent. You have just committed a Class 2 military conduct violation in front of 57 witnesses. Danveth stared at her. Furthermore, Molly continued, the maintenance checklist that would have flagged the plasma coupling as unsafe was removed from Sector 7 systems at 0340 hours this morning. Fleet logs are immutable. That deletion is traceable. If I was negligent, someone enabled that negligence. I have the timestamp. The silence had changed. Before it had been shocked. Now it was something else. I did not make a report this morning, Molly said, because I did not want to disrupt inspection. I recognize now that was incorrect of me. I should have trusted the system to handle it. A pause. I am trusting the system now. She did not raise her voice. She did not step forward. She simply stood there, bleeding quietly through her sleeve, with the calm certainty of someone who had memorized every regulation in the Concord military code on the 6-month transit from Earth and had been waiting, not hoping, not planning, just waiting for the moment it would matter. Danveth's mandibles worked silently. From somewhere behind him, a sound, soft, almost imperceptible. One of the Volari cadets had exhaled through their gill slits. That was, for a Volari, the equivalent of a sharp intake of breath. Then Senior Lieutenant Thesamir of the Alien stepped forward from the observation deck above. She was the highest-ranking officer in the hangar, and she had seen everything. "Commander Danveth," she said carefully, "I will need your command key to begin the formal log entry." Danveth did not move for a long moment. Then he unclipped his command key and handed it up without a word. The medical team arrived 4 minutes later. They treated the gash on Molly's arm, 7 stitches, a biograft, done in under 2 minutes with her standing up because she asked them to let her finish her watch first, and they, somewhat stunned, agreed. By evening, the story had reached every deck of the Galactic Concord. Not because Molly had fought, not because she had screamed, or wept, or made a scene, but because she had stood there with blood on her sleeve and a handprint on her face, and she had cited the regulation number in a voice as steady as deep space. In the mess hall that night, a Creth junior officer, young, barely past his 3rd molt, sat across from a human cadet named Torres and said, carefully, "Your species. You do not respond the way we expect." Torres looked up from his tray. "What did you expect?" The Creth officer's mandibles shifted in what the universal translator had learned, over the past 18 months, to flag as uncertainty. Submission, or rage. One or the other. Torres considered this. "Molly's been angry since she was about 14, he said. "She just got real good at turning it cold." The Creth officer didn't have a word for that in his language. He looked it up later in the Human Linguistic Database. The closest translation was forged. Commander Danveth was relieved of his inspection duties pending a conduct review. The maintenance log deletion was traced. A junior technician who had cut corners and hidden it. 2 violations resolved. 1 morning, 1 cadet, 0 dramatics. Molly filed her full incident report that night, precise and complete, every timestamp correct, every regulation cited by number. At the bottom, in the field marked additional notes, she wrote, "I would like to remain on active hangar duty. I am not done with my watch." The Galactic Concord had 17 species aboard it. Only one of them filed paperwork like it was a weapon.